Will your headset work with the Xbox One and PS4? I'll tell you how to find out on this episode of G-Tech. What is up, everybody? BriarRabbit here, and today I want to make basically what turns out to be a part 2 to a video that I made about a month ago, and that was, will your old gaming headset work with the Xbox One and PS4? So that video got an overwhelmingly positive response, okay? But the comments section was really filled up with people with very specific questions. Things like, will my Turtle Beach XP3000s work with the PS4? Or will my Tritton AX Pros work with the Xbox One? And to be honest with you, it's almost impossible for me to know the answer to all these questions. I can't really go out and buy each one of these headsets, and it's really hard to figure out like exactly what's included in the box with each one of them. They don't necessarily always put that in the marketing material. So what I decided to do, so that I could answer everybody's questions, was make a video that explains exactly what each of the new consoles is going to offer in terms of connectivity, and that way that you can look at your current headset, or you can look at the headset that you're planning on buying and decide, oh, this is compatible, or no, this isn't going to work. So let's get started. Up on the top right hand corner of the screen right now is a picture of the back of the PS4, and we're going to do the PS4 first. And while it's pretty notable what's not there, we're going to save that for another video, and we're going to talk about what is there. So what you see is optical. That's an optical out. It's a fiber optic cable. Most mix amps, most headsets that come with mix amps, this is what you're going to use for game sound. Not for voice, but for game sound. It's also got the HDMI out. That's not really going to be useful for us. It's got a LAN port. Again, not useful. But that auxiliary port is useful. So with the current PS3, the way the PS3 uses like an Astro headset or a Tritton headset is the voice information is all transferred over that USB port. So you get the game sound through the optical and the voice sound through the auxiliary. So that works both for incoming voices and for your microphone. So that should remain basically the same on the PS4, but there is an added option. Similarly to the Xbox 360 controller, as you can see here, the PS4 controller has a headset jack on the bottom. Now this is a little bit different than the Xbox 360 headset jack. It's actually a 3.5mm jack instead of a 2.5mm jack. No big deal. This little guy here solves our problem. It's a 2.5mm to 3.5mm adapter. It's available on Amazon for about $3. Shouldn't break anybody's back, and it will basically adapt a Xbox 360 headset to the PS4. So let's review all our options in hooking up headsets to the PS4. We can use that optical connector that you see up on the screen. We can use the USB auxiliary or the two USBs up front. And we can use the 3.5mm headphone jack on the controller. The way I see it, the only people that would be left out is if you're currently using a headset that uses RCA jacks for game sound. As you can see, there is no analog output for video or sound on the back of the PS3. This is going to be a big deal for people with older TVs, but we'll talk about that in a later video. Right now, all we're really concerned with is we can hook a PS4 up through the optical, through the USB, through the headset jack on the controller, but there are no RCA jacks. So that's the only limitation you have with the PS4 and hooking up your old headset. Here we see the back of the Xbox One, and while we do see a lot more ports than are on the back of the PS4, they're not really meaningful to us. They're mostly due to trying to hook up the Xbox One to a cable box and blah, 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 blah. It's about a different video, not this one. What we are concerned about is, again, we see that optical port, that toslink port, the fiber optic, where we'll get game sound to something like an Astro A40 mix amp or the Tritton mix amp, something like that. We see two USB ports. They're both USB 3 ports, I believe. So here's what we know about those USB ports. On the Xbox 360, we were not able to use those for a microphone or for voice support. We had to use the 2.5mm jack that was on the controller. And that was a bummer because it basically meant that you couldn't use something like the Astro A50 couldn't be completely wireless on Xbox 360 because you had to have a wire go into your controller. On the Xbox One, I think we're going to run into very similar situation. We won't be able to use these USB ports similarly because they're going to want to sell us either their controller adapter or their proprietary wireless headsets. Something like what Turtle Beach has announced recently. I think they announced it at E3. So we can fully expect not to be able to use these USB ports. That means that the only way to hook up a headset to the Xbox One is using the optical, if your headset has HDMI support, and using the proprietary adapter on the Xbox One controller. Now, there are a couple of options there on the controller. Up on the screen right now is the Xbox One controller port. So this is the port on the bottom of the Xbox One controller, and it is how you will hook up headsets. Now, originally Xbox wanted this to be a proprietary port. It really doesn't look like any port I've ever seen. It looks like kind of like a mini HDMI port. But they've gone back since like the Xbox 180 fiasco, and they have talked about an adapter. They're going to release an adapter that will plug into this guy and allow you to plug in probably a 2.5mm jack and let you use old gaming headsets like Astros or Trittons. So let's review all our options in hooking up a headset to the Xbox One. If you are using RCA jacks for game sound, you're out of luck again. There is no analog out for game sound on the Xbox One, just like the PS4. So I think these are mostly lower end headsets, so hopefully people aren't too upset about this. If you need optical, you're in the clear. If you need a headset jack, then you should be in the clear. I believe Nyko is going to be offering a headset adapter, and I believe that Microsoft is going to be offering a headset adapter. So that means that we should be okay with most of the headsets out there. I'm really sorry that this video was kind of long-winded. I really wanted to be as intricate as I could with the detail on this one to clear up any confusion. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. It really helps me out. If you guys are new to the channel, hit subscribe. I make videos like this all the time. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, if you have any more questions, leave a comment. Bye.